Hello friends, welcome to today's video. In this video, we are going to discuss about classes and objects. Okay, so what is a class? So as you guys know that Python is a object-oriented programming language. This means that almost all the code is implemented using a special construct called classes. Programmers use classes to keep related things together. This is done using the keyword called class. So now let's see what is class. Okay, classes are used to create user-defined data structures. Classes define functions called method, which identify the behaviors and actions that an object created from the class can perform its data. Okay, so now let's see what is a class using a real life example. Okay, so a class is a blueprint for how something should be defined. It does not actually contain any data. The dog class specifies the name and age are necessary for defining a dog, but it does not contain the name or age of any specific dog. Okay, while the class is the blueprint, an instance is an object that is built from a class and contains real data. So a class is defined using the word called class name. Okay, for example, let us see. Okay, class means it is used to represent related objects. Okay, so if you are taking a class of a car, what are the related objects? You can write inside the class like how many mirrors are there or how many headlights are there and things like that. Okay, so those is known as a class. So we have to give some intent space in between the class name sentence and the statement 1. Okay, so after seeing the object, we'll see how to create a class. Okay, so here is an object. Creating a new object from a class is called instantiating an object. So what is a object means? It is a instance of class. Okay, so suppose we are taking an example of a car with a class name car, and you know that the tire is 4 as well as it has got 2 headlights. So if we give this much about the features of a car, then the object can be any car, right? It can be BMW, Audi or anything which is an object. Okay, so this is known as an object. So now let's see an example how to write a class and an object. Okay, so here I am using the idle in order to create a class. Let's create a class called student. Okay, so in this class we are going to write the name is equals to Diya. Okay, so whatever is the name that you want, you can write. Okay, let's change it to coding duty. Okay, name is coding duty. Let's write the roll number. I'll give it to be 15. Okay, now let's store the marks, which is 56. Okay, now let's create an object for this class. Okay, so let's write S1, which is an object. You can create S1 means student 1. Okay, you can create an object for this class called S1 is equals to student. Okay, so now let's try to print the name. Okay, so what you can do is like name is 2, and now you have to write, right? So what you can give is S1 dot name. Okay, so S1 is an object that you have created for this class in order to access the variables that you have given inside the class. So now you can see that the name is coding duty, right? Did you get it? So this is how you create a class with an object. Okay, so suppose you want to create more than one name for S1. Okay, let's see that. dog, instead of giving coding duty, let's give something like Diya and Anjali. Okay, so now let's try to print it and see. You can see that you will get it in the form of a tuple. So if you want just one name, you can just give like 1. So it will take the indexing and then it will give you Diya as the output. Got it? So this is how you store it inside a class and access it. Okay? Got it? Okay. So now we are going to see about something called self parameter. So why we are using the self parameter? Okay? So inside the class we are going to create a function. Okay? So from that function you want to access the variables that you have given inside the class. Okay, then you need something called a self parameter. So what is self parameter? Okay, so self keyword, we can access the attributes and methods of a class in Python. Okay, this is to access the attributes and methods of a class in Python is known as a self parameter. Okay, so now let's go to the example and then I'll explain it to you guys. So now here you can see that we are just using a simple class, right? So now let's just create a class called sum with x is equals to 10, y is equals to 20 and z is equals to x plus y. Got it? Now let's define a function called add1 of self. Got it? So we are creating a function inside a class. Now we have to print the z. Okay, so let's take like sum is, and let's give it to be z. Got it? So now what you can do is that you can create a object. So let me create s1, or let's create x is equals to sum, which is the class. Okay, so now we have created an object for the class. So why did we use this self? Because we gave here z, right? We want to get the access this z which is inside the class and we want it inside the method. Okay, so we have to use self dot z. Got it? Then only you will be able to. So now let's give like x dot add1. This is you are accessing the function inside the class sum using the object. Got it? So x is the object here. So now you can see that you will be able to get like sum is 30. So now let's try to change it to 30 and now you have to get it 40, right? So I hope you understood why we are using, because just because if I take the cell from here and just give z, you can see that I will get an error because z is not defined as z is inside a class. Okay, what is init method? Okay, init method is a method that you can use inside a class. Okay, so as you guys know, every function has got a function call. In the last example you saw that in the class we gave a function called add, and at last after creating an object we did a function call, isn't it? But if we are using a init method inside a class, then you no need of giving a function call, because as you create an object for that class, then automatically your init method will also be working. So that is the main thing that we are using this init. Okay, so init method is also known as a dunder method. This method is called when an object is created from a class and it allows the class to initialize the attributes of a class. Got it? So now let's see an example. So now I am going to create a class called student. Okay, let's create a class student, and inside which we are going to give a init method. So here you can see that we gave a init method, so it is inside a method. So let's give like self, name and roll number. Okay, so this is a method inside the class called student. So now let's give self dot name is equals to name. This is to access the name. Okay, now let's give self dot roll number is equals to roll number. Got it? So now what you have to do is you have to print, you have to come outside and let's create a student. Okay, let's create S1 is equals to student, which is our class name. Okay, so now here what we are going to do is we are going to pass the values for name and roll number from the class itself. Okay, so now let me give here coding duty roll number 1. Okay, coding duty, now let's give it to be 1. Got it? Let's give here print. Okay, so that only you will be able to know whether it is done or not. Self dot name comma self dot roll number. Got it? So now we have passed these values inside when we created the object itself, because this function will work without a function call. So now here you can see coding duty 1. Got it? So now if you want to separate it by comma, let's give that and just see. So this is the importance of init method. I hope this was clear for you. Okay, so now let's do an activity called a bangers program. Okay, so now let's create a class called bank, from where you are able to deposit the money, withdraw the money and things like that. Okay, so first of all we are creating a method called init, and now let's give balance is 0. Okay, initially your balance is 0, right? So now let's give welcome to deposit and withdrawal machine. Okay, so now again inside here we are going to create functions like deposit of self, because we want to access the balance. Okay, so now let's give amt is equals to float of input of enter the amount to be deposited. So now what we are going to do is let's give self dot balance plus is equals to amt, because if you are depositing any money, that should be given, that should be added, right? So now let's give amount deposited is, and then you can give it to be amt. Okay, so now let's do it for withdrawal, the same thing itself. Okay, now let's give amt is equals to float of input of enter the amount to be withdrawn. So now what we are going to do is let's create a if statement. Okay, if the self dot balance is less than or equal to the amount, which is amt, then what will happen? You have to print there is no sufficient balance. Okay, else what you can give? Else self dot balance minus is equals to amount, because you are withdrawing, so it should be minus. Okay, so now let's print the amount withdrawn is, and let's give empty. Got it? Now what you have to do? You have to display, right? Display the self, and let's see how much is the self balance. Okay, print net balance is equals to the self dot balance. Got it? So this is all our functions for this program code. Now what you have to create? You have to create an object for this bank. Okay, let's create s is equals to bank. Now you have to call 3 of the functions, right? So let's give x dot deposit, s dot withdraw, as well as s dot display. Now let's see. Here you can see in the output, I'll just take a new one so that you will be able to see. Welcome to deposit and withdrawal machine. Enter the amount to be deposited. Let's give 50,000. So if I want 10,000 back, what I want 10 lakhs back means it will show there is insufficient balance and what is the balance. Okay, so now let's try to withdraw. Let's give this money and I want 890. Then you can see that 890 is withdrawn and the net balance is this much. Got it? As we have given here float, it is taking the floating values. Got it? I hope you guys like this video. If you like this video, please do like, share and subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to press the bell button so that you will get notifications when I post new videos. See you in the next video guys. Bye, and don't forget to give me a comment about this video in the comment box. Bye bye.